And we are live. What's up, everyone? I hope you're having a good week, and I hope you're sculpting and having a blast. This is my my cheer up Thursday. So yeah, we're trying like a new thing. Right now, I'm currently streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Wait a second. I just got like a video playing in the back. Okay. So yeah, we're like streaming on 3 channels. But the thing is, like right now I'm using Restream like chat app, but I don't think I got like access to the Facebook. So yeah, like sorry about that. If you guys like write questions, I won't be able to see it. But if you go onto the YouTube page or Twitch page, then I'll be able to see it and then answer with my beautiful voice. So, you guys doing okay? Everything is working fine. It's cool. Like I see like now like comments from YouTube, so I guess it works. So, yeah, basically, like nothing new. Like I'm still working on this model, like for speed wise, since I'm streaming on my really old computer, just to be sure like everything goes fast enough. I made like a separate Z tool only with like this mesh, which is actually my sketch. I got like the rest of my model somewhere else, like in another file, but yeah, as soon as I complete this part, I will probably decimate it and bring the other parts so I can work, and just to be sure it's not lagging too much and you guys like got like a hard time following up. So that being said, I try like a new technique this week at work, and I find it like quite awesome, and it's like it revolves around the Z modeler. I used it like quite a bit to just do like minor adjustment, but now like I think I find like something that it's really useful, and I'm gonna show you tonight what I do with it, and hopefully it will work out. So I'll just yeah, just to know, like I only did like a small extract. I'm gonna, yeah, by the way, I'm gonna using like for those who don't know, like a lot of my buttons like I'm on top. If you guys got like a hard time following up with what I'm using, or because I know it's like a mess, and I saw like even like Thomas damn, I forgot like his last name, but he got like his own custom menu when he right click on the pen, and that's definitely what I should do, because it starts to be really cluttered, and I still got like other things I want to put in, so I don't know where I'm gonna put them like for now. But yeah, for now, like I'm gonna be using them over here. So I'll go with group mask because I got like this thing around that I didn't like, and I'm gonna do delete it. So I'm gonna zero mesh it as same, just to see how it works out. But the main idea is like I want to try to have like a perfect topology that follows my form, and I want it like to be low res. So and yeah, this can be like annoying. Whoops. This can be annoying, but I'll just like move the points a little bit. And first off, like one of the cool thing about going this way is that I can have my surface like perfectly flat. What's cool, like when you smooth it, it usually like points who are like on the edge are not moving or barely moving. So I mean, it's like super easy to do like a really clean surface. And yeah, like you probably imagine, like I just want to try to have like a smooth straight line. And sometimes I'll just like zero mesh it a few times just to see how it works out. Like this time I've tried out like the zero mesh with the shift. Doesn't work, then I'll try it without the shift just in case. See, I'm having like those weird artifacts, but at least I got a good topology. So. And yeah, I'll just like move my points up until I get, because what I want to try to get is like something like this all around, you know, the topology. So I'll move some of the points, but I will edit them along the way. So right now, since I did like a control shift on the poly group just to isolate, I'm gonna delete hidden, and then I'm gonna continue. And you see like those bits, sometimes like to remove them I'll just do like an auto group, not part of my mesh. Once again, delete hidden, and that's it. So Jeremy asked, how do you customize your own UI? There's two things like you need like to be aware of. Well, first off, like you need to go to preference, config, and then you go to enable, and then from there you can pretty much take any button, press control, wait, or maybe not. Is it control shift or control alt? Yeah, control alt, and then you can just, you know, see, like drag it and put it whatever you want. And of course if you put it there, then it won't work. But usually like things are supposed to be shifting around, and yeah, you can just like place your buttons all around. Like usually what I do is like, you know, I start with like a something super simple, but I try to keep notes of, you know, let's just say like move topological. Like I go and use it like quite a bit. So in those cases, then that's how basically I'll know that, okay, maybe instead of going back to the menu every time, I'll just like map it over there. Sometimes it's just like to know if it's actually activated. See like the IQ curve? That's one of the things that I use like quite a bit. And you know, I actually did like a hotkey on A to activate it. And that's the thing, like sometimes I just need like a visual cue to be sure it's working. And yeah, like I've shown you in the past, like one of the cool thing, right now it's pretty low res, but yeah, the IQ curve with the move tool, it's so badass. Like I've been using it for such a long time, and I'm just gonna show you quickly. This is like with the IQ curve, you know, you can create spikes super easily instead of, you know, creating this and then trying to smooth it to have something sharp. Then you can just, or just like, you know, if you need to move something, like with this, it's still, you can of course like reduce your brush, but if you go IQ curve, you can just like pinch it just like a needle, you know. So yeah, I find it like really useful for you know, what I'm doing with it. So if I go back to the UI, once I'm done with all my buttons, I can go back and disable the enable UI and then store config. And usually I do like a save UI, because you know, like the UI I use at home is the same one as I use at work, and sometimes I modify it like the one at work or the one at home, and you know, back and forth. So I'd rather like save it on a hard drive and then just load it when I need it. Or you know, let's just say I go like to another friend's place or a conference or whatever, I can just like easily just load that in. And the other thing is like the hotkeys. It's like the, you know, once again, you just that's the thing, I'm not sure, like usually I think you need to be enable, and I think you need to press control. Let's just see. It's been such a long time since I used it. Yeah, sorry about that. Like I completely forgot how I actually put like the hotkeys. Do someone know, like in the chat, if remembers? But yeah, basically once more, you know, like it's over there. Once you actually map your key, it sucks that I forgot, but yeah, you just map your key and then you store it. So every time that you load back ZBrush, then it will save like in memory. Because if you don't do that, like you would just like lost your file as soon as you close down the ZBrush. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. And once again, you can save it or load it. Like, you know, if you're working like across many computers, then it can be useful. So I'm just gonna uncheck this, and I'll continue that. That's a good time as well, like to check, you know, what's the size of the strip, you know, like let's see once more. I'll just smooth it out to have a neat and flat surface, and you will know why I'm doing this afterwards. But it's just like yeah, it's I saw like some people using something similar, but not this way. So if it can help you out, then I'm glad my job is done. Oh, okay. It's Dennis, is it it's Control Alt any key to add like a shortcut? So yeah, there you go. But yeah, it's like that's the issue. Like right now, like you know, I did like my shortcut, like all the brushes are like map on my numbers on top. But you know, as you know, it's really you know, man, I keep saying, you know, sorry about that, but yeah, like I like using hotkeys, like, you know, when I'm in Marvelous or Substance or whatever, I'm on hotkeys like all the time, Photoshop, like any of those softwares. But for ZBrush, I feel like we got like so many new features all the time that sometimes, like, let's just say like the A, like it's used for something else, or like a new feature comes in and the hotkey is A, then since I'm used to using A for AccuCurve, then I kind of kill the hotkey right there. And that's the thing, like right now I'm using some of the hotkeys that Pixelogic put in their software, and some others are custom made. So at that point, I don't really know what's left available on my that's the thing. Maybe it would be nice like to get eventually like in Maya, you see like a keyboard and you see like colors for which hotkeys were assigned and stuff like that on every key, like a kind of a virtual keyboard. And yeah, it's maybe something for the future. But yeah, for ZBrush, like it's been a while since I added new hotkeys, and my pipeline is always changing constantly. So I think we're starting to have like something decent. I'm just gonna whoops. And you know, pick about it, the more it will pay off. I mean, it's a simple step, but I think if it's done well for any kind of mesh, you know, I think it will pay off. So I'll just do like another one just in case. Okay. There's like little bits here and there that are not like perfectly straight, but that's all right. We can still like move it afterwards. So if I load back my okay, so I'm still like pretty much sitting on where I was. I will just move it a little bit because I want it like to be really sitting on top. Yeah, like sometimes I use you know, polygroup, but because of the refresh problems, I'm just gonna assign like a random color so I can see. I put myself in RGB, fill object, and then go back to white. So now I can see my object. So I can, oops, I can just put it on top. Doesn't need to be perfect because, you know, what I did at first was just a sketch, but so like even like those, you know, like those lines are not like super clean, but still, like I'm gonna try to follow it. A bit of smooth. So once I'm happy with that, I'll go back and isolate, and then that's where the fun begins. Geometry, loop. Okay, usually like those settings, it's always like always the same thing. Like for loops, I put it to 1. Thickness, that's the one I'm not gonna touch. H polish to 0, bevel to 0, elevation to -100, and then that's where I'm gonna play. Okay, see, barely anything. A little bit more. Okay, this starts to be so I can gauge like how deep I want it like to go. And that's one of the value. I got like a notepad next to me, and that's one of the value that I'll keep in note, because all the other you know, kind of straps that you see like along the character, well, I'm just gonna remove that. All the other straps, I want them like to have the same thickness, maybe not the same depth, but at least the same thickness. So yeah, I'll do the same process for every of them. So let's go back to solo, and just a slightly less. Okay, so that's the first step. Of course we could go ahead and go like a divide, but that would be like way too simple. And you know, it doesn't look bad, but it's not, since it's supposed to be a strip like with the hard edge, we don't have that. So I'll do like another step that I really like, and that's what's cool, you know, right now, since like compared to, let's just say like in Max, if I did like a shell or, you know, another software, I wouldn't get like my polygroups like I did right here. And of course, you know, I'm saying that, but like in Max or Maya, you could always like assign manually polygons. But you know, this, you know, you do it, and then you got your polygroups, and you got like the thickness, which is, I think, awesome. Now I'll go set my, yeah, for the people that don't know, like the crease level is like, it's gonna keep the creases hard for 2 subdivision levels. After that, it will just like, you know, like disappear, and then the mesh will start melting. This is like the angle, but what's cool in our case right here, it's like I can go crease by polygroup, so at least like only my edge would be creased. The only, you know, parts left are, you know, you see like over here, the corners. So that's where I'm gonna use Z modeler, and I'm gonna go on the edge, I just right click on the edge, and then go crease on the edge, boom, one there, go down. We might not see them, but yeah, just to make it clean. There's nothing worse than you know, moving forward with this and then realizing later that one of your corners is actually bent or round, or when it's not supposed to. So okay, so now I can go back to normal mode, and then I'll divide it. So see, like, just to check, like I put like my creases to level 2. So if I do 1 subdivide, 2 subdivide, it still stay crisp, and then 3, oh, start melting, you know. And then, oh, okay, I just got like a nice, if you need it like to melt or be rounder earlier, then you can just raise it to 1, let's just say, and then divide. Ooh, see, like it's like the melting is stronger. Or if you need like the opposite, you need like to be way more sharper, let's just say like at 4, then it will divide it. Then, you know, see, even at 4 it still stay crisp. And of course, like the fact that it's like adding up polygons, it will be harder for you know, creases to move. So even if I go up, you know, to 6, like there's barely nothing happening. So I will just delete those. Just in case it actually shift, I think I will do like a couple of undos, because sometimes with the creases, like it shifts a little bit of the low polygon, and yeah, in this case it wouldn't be a big problem, but sometimes you don't want that. Yeah, I think it looks good. And then from there you can literally like go nuts with the, you know, because now I know that, you know, the subdivision works. You know, I'm old school, so I go it like manually, but I know that you can go like to dynamic, and this will simulate what it can actually do. So over here I got 2 subdivisions. If I put 3, you know, basically will just show me what it would actually do if I would press divide. And of course, like if you got like a super slow computer, or you know, like let's just say like a super dense model, and you're not sure you want to, you know, go back and forth like I just did, then you can just move ahead and use the dynamic instead, just to get a feeling. So like I've said, I'm good with that. I won't divide, you know, right away, because if I want to use the ZModeler brush, then I needs to be at the subdivision level 1. And yeah, let's just say like the Q mesh, I want to go with Q mesh. And that's the thing, like it's kind of overwhelming, but all those, you know, when you see target, all those options are the same ones basically coming back for every other face polygon action. So yeah, if you were getting lost, it's alright. So see, like from here I could just, and once again what's cool about it is like it's creating you a poly group. I won't keep those, but I just wanted like to show you what you can do. So once more, like we don't see it, but there's 2 different colors, and from there, you know, you could clearly go and crease poly group once more, and then, you know, or sometimes what I do is just like, let's just say you're doing like a, you see that like oftentimes on the, let's just say like a tactical vest, or just like a, you got like a leather shoulder pad, and usually you got like this trim like going around. Let's just say like I know like I'm not like sculpting a lot right now, but yeah, I just wanted to show you that because I think it's too good to be not known. So let's just say like I go, and that's one of the things, it's so weird, like I was sure like we could do like a move edge loop. Well, I thought I could actually do it at work, but yeah, we'll just do like a move face, and you know, from there you can say like poly loops, poly loop flat. We'll go with poly loop, and then let's just say, see like that orange line, it tells you in which direction it's gonna be, you know, pulling out. So let's just say I'll go like this, and then, and another thing that I like, you know, right now, like the move, you will remember it for faces, but if I go on edge, then I can add like another tool. So I'll do like an insert edge loop, so I can just, and then, oops, and then push it back. See, and like stuff like this, I think it's priceless, to be honest. It's like, you know, and right there, you know, I got my already my crease for if I want to put stitches in or anything, or let's just say like you know, I want to put my creases partial loop because I don't want like the loop to go around. Or I could like even go poly loop just to be sure. I think it's based on polygroup. Did I put the... I'll go with this. See, right at the bottom. So now if I subdivide, then you got it. So I mean, with this, what's cool is like, you know, before I was like I guess like many of you, I was just like going in with like a damn standard, and I would go like into lazy mouse, put like a crazy lazy radius, subdivide it, and then just go like this, you know. Well, it's not subdivided enough, but like this, you know, and then try to keep the same distance between the two, which can be like a nightmare. From far away it might not look that bad, and of course you could always like take the move brush and then start, you know, fiddling with it. But I mean, yeah, I just feel the ZModeler approach, it's a lot more efficient. And still, you know, what's cool is like it's non-destructive. So if I want to go back at some point and then tweak some things, like no worries, man. It's just go back. And yeah, usually like in that step, I try not like to add too much detail when I'm like going my subdivisions up. I'll try to stay low. So if I need like to tweak some things like with the ZModeler, I can easily do delete higher, and then so yeah, usually I'll just stay there. Go back, and that's one done. And once more, and since it's like so low res, because I wanted to keep a decent topology, it's super easy to manipulate. Because that's another thing, like sometimes if your lower resolution mesh is still like too dense, then it will be like easy to deform the kind of the straight line on the side. And yeah, after that it becomes like a lot harder to fix. But yeah, see, like even like this, I think I'm gonna try it out. I'll just I'm just thinking about my stuff. Yeah, sometimes it's annoying, like it will create like a polygroups almost the same color as the... Oh wait, I'm seeing that, but that's my color. Okay. So delete higher. Poly group, single poly, one group. We'll try it. Does that work? So yeah, questions. For circles 3D, like, are you making a low poly? Yeah, well, I'm making a low poly to be easier to manipulate, and then once it's low, then I can go up and then have something. But like, yeah, when I'm creating is like, no, I'm doing like high res mesh, and yeah, and even like I just thought of something else, but it's like even like that, like another thing that is cool with like having those poly groups. And bear with me, I will continue to sculpt what I was doing, but since it's all split in polygroups, you got this thing that Paul Gaboury like told me about, would be and I never kind of noticed, but if you go to unwrap and there's like polygroups, and basically this will unwrap your meshes by polygroup. It just say like a sorry, at every edge between two different polygroups, you would put a seam. So I mean, if you need to do like some, you know, noisemaker stuff, and you need to unfold your meshes, I think that's a really cool thing as a first pass. Usually before I was just like pressing unwrap to get like a quick, you know, just a quick UV, but now that I know that I can use my you know, my poly groups to be a guide for my unwrap. I think, yeah, I think it changed like a lot of things. So yeah, I won't do like the unwrap because I don't want the sessions to be slowed down just by the computer processing it. But basically, all the different colors of the poly groups will be all separate UV islands. So yeah, I wanted like to extrude, you know, the mesh from this one, but to be honest with you, like on second thought, I don't think I'm like confident enough to do that, because you know, once more, it's like, you know, you can do it, but I still like, you know, I'm still like getting used to the Z modeler, and for now, like I'll just go with the most efficient way and clean way, and yeah, and you know, if I go back to like, you know, highly detailed 3D print, you know, that sort of stuff, you know, usually when you print, it needs to be all one watertight mesh. So once I'm like happy with all the iris detail and all of that, I will do like a boolean in combine. So basically it will just like all merge everything together to be one kind of shell, like one mesh. So that's why like I don't mind like splitting my parts like that. So once more, I try like to mask it. Go back to the extract. So yeah, usually like that's another thing. I always put like a, wait, I was about to say I always put 0, but I just saw that I put like a take 2. Another thing that I like about the extract is like it's creating like a separate subtool. Instead of just splitting the mesh, it's making like a duplicate. Okay, now. Okay, that's 0. So let's go back. I guess it's because I think it's the smooth, actually, because like I got the edge bleeding. But yeah, don't worry. So, hell no. Quick question. Can make reduce. That's a really good question. I guess, you know, there's like, if you go into preference, well, the question was like, is there like a configuration to reduce like how much ZBrush uses like to slow down work? I know like one thing before I go like to preference, that, you know, the free memory and active memory, I know that this thing like actually builds up over time, and even if you load like other subtools like on top over here, and yeah, it will keep, you know, building up, and you can do like a restore configuration which will remove those subtools over here, but it seems like in memory they're still there. So yeah, usually what I do, like when I see like this number like free memory like being too low, I will just like save it, close it down, reopen again. That's how I go. But I know that you can go into performance. There's like the number of threads like on your CPU. You know, you can play around with those settings, and you can even like, you know, test the multi-threading. But I know that there's like a mem right over here, the compact memory, and like I think that's the pretty much the two only options that I know about. Yeah, optimization. Yeah, outside of that, it's pretty much like I've just mentioned, like so once more, I'll try. And that's what's cool about ZRemesher. It kind of see, if you put like a kind of a straight line like this, you will actually average out your topology, you know, meaning that okay, it's a straight line, I don't need like this many triangles, I will do quads. It's kind of yeah, it's kind of a smart way to interpret your topology. So that's why like I try to keep a straight line. And yeah, it's like, since it's a low res mesh, like I did like a zero measure low res mesh, it's so easy to manipulate. And what's more, it's like, you know, you see like those polygons, like just like this triangle, I want to move it, but it's like annoying. Then I'll go back to my ZModeler and do delete. Was it in single poly? Yeah. Then boom, I can, you know, go around, like, you know, before I did like a auto groups and then deleted the ones, but yeah, sometimes that might not be like the way that you prefer, so you can just go ahead and that what's practical about, you know, deleting your see, like I got like my, that's another thing, like I clicked by accident on the edge and I started to have like some creases. So what I'll do, like sometimes, if you know, especially when you're just like, you know, learning how to work with ZModeler, it can be like annoying to have those things, so you can just go and do nothing. So like in edge action, do nothing. So at least, you know, if I'm trying to go work fast, let's just say like I'm doing like some speed sculpting or something, you can, it won't like bother you. So I'm just like removing the triangles because I feel it's easier to place my points without them. Okay. Once more, I got my move brush on number 3, so it's always near my finger because I use it all the time. But I should definitely like put one for ZModeler. You feel pretty much on love. Another thing that that's the thing, like I always like kind of put it, but like way too late, is like actually the double faces. This is like when you got like a, let's say like a thick surface, and sometimes you sculpt and you didn't put like back face mask on it, then the face under, like when there's thickness, will go through the one up front, and you won't see it because it's going to be the back face, going to be like, you know, when I'm like this. And sometimes, like, you know, you can sculpt, you do all your things, like, and I saw that like quite a bit even at work, like other ZBrush artists, like they were kind of wondering what the hell, you know, I'm baking on my ambient occlusion and I'm getting my like black spot, like almost like black pools, you know, like on the map. And they were just like, what the hell is happening, you know? And yeah, the main reason is like, you know, a meshes would actually go through, but you wouldn't actually see it. But if you put double sided, like all the time, then, you know, you won't see that. And just another advice, like to fix that, if that ever happens to you, like you got like this mesh going through the other one, what I do is like I you know, just for this purpose, I will show you. So let's just say like this is without the back face. So here you go. See, sometimes like and I'll just smooth it just to make it worse. Sometimes you can barely see it, you know, like you can sculpt it and you don't see the face, you know, you're like, okay, everything is alright and all, and then you bake and you got an issue. But yeah, if I put double on, oh okay, it's going through my my mesh. And okay, let's just say like right now it's all on the same poly mesh, but what happened if you got something like this, you know, it's just like, oh man, I'm kind of in a bad position. And if I want to try to push that in, then And even if I try with topological, sometimes it works, but yeah, see, like it's still affecting. I'm pointing my monitor like an idiot, but yeah, like you see, like over here, if you look at those, you know, they're still moving. So you're just like, oh man, oh I'm gonna, and you're plus you're like destroying your detail that you sculpted like with passion. So what I do is like I'll try like to go facing front, because usually it always happens, you know, from a specific direction. And I'll go to polygroups, and I'll go with group front. And since I didn't have like any polygroups, I don't really mind, but at least I just like isolated the back face from the right one. So I'll isolate this, mask it, and then that's it, you know, push it back in or smooth it, whatever. Like I'm messing up the whole thing, but I think you get the point. So yeah, just another trick. So I'll delete it, go back to my strip. So, do you think it's going to be useful for you guys in the future? And was I clear, by the way? Like you know, I keep chatting and chatting and chatting, but I don't even know if I'm making sense. So, because you guys are, I think, the first one I you know, shown that. So because I just figured this stuff out like this week. So it was my precious trick. Okay, so once more. I'm not aware of a Houdini Boolean. I just saw like yeah, like and I think you got a badass name, but I won't even attempt to pronounce it. But basically, like someone in the chat was like asking if you guys like were using, or me I guess, was using the booleans in Houdini, and I don't know, like is it like something? Does the Houdini do like booleans in a different way than other softwares, or the one in ZBrush, like the live one, or? I know that Houdini is like awesome for effects, but and pretty expensive. Like at work, we got like a few license, and yeah, it's mainly for the FX guys. But I never really modeled with it. I'm more like in Softimage, Maya, and 3D Max kind of a 3D package, and a little bit of Cinema 4D. But yeah, one that I really want to try out though is like the Blender, like the just to see like the render. Seems like got like a cool render engine. Just to see if just to compare with KeyShot to see what different result I can actually get. Getting there. We'll just try it. Yeah, I just did like the same zero mesh, but with the shift. Sometimes it's it helps. Topological button is actually if you let me find like a I'm trying like about like a to find like an option. It's like wait, I'm just trying like to figure out like a good example. It usually it works better when you got like more than one mesh combined. Oh, maybe, yeah, I think I got it. I'll let's just say you got this, and I want to move. I'll just remove the mask, and I want to move, like, see, even if I put like polygroups, I want to move. I'm like still affecting the orange one, but if I want to only, because like those meshes are not welded in any ways, but like the influence of my brush, of course I could go like super tiny, and right now it's easy because I got like low res mesh, but I mean, yeah, sometimes you just want to manipulate like a specific mesh without affecting the other because they're so close. So if you go topological, then see, like you will be able to manipulate, and it doesn't matter if you got like all the same polygroup, it will still only affect, it will look at topology and move only like the separate elements, if you like. So yeah, I hope it answers your question. Just gonna take a quick sip of coffee. So much talking, yeah, it's like I think I'm getting the old of this. That's weird. So I forgot to ask, where are you right now in the world? Are you from China or Russia, or I'd like to know which crowd that I got with me. Well, I'm gonna say tonight, but I knew that it might be a different time of the day from where you're watching this. Almost done. Okay, so I'm just gonna trying to get back the shapes that I put in at first in the sketch. Once more, see like how forgiving it is, like to smooth out, and yeah, it's better to do it right now than once I do my my panel loop. So once more, 0 minus. If you're wondering why I'm putting this at 0, then you know, you can of course like trying out on your end, but basically it will deform my shape, which is something that I don't want, because the shape I rather like control it manually than having the, and then I'm gonna fix it with the creases. So I mentioned just before I would actually put in write like the value, which I did not do, so we'll roll with 0.04, or depends if you guys still remember which value that I put in. It's like it's gonna be the you know, like the test question for today, you know. Which value did I put in at 3 minutes 45 seconds when I said, no, just kidding. So another thing that I'll do, like if I don't want like those to be overlapping, because I know like right now I'm like creating duplicates and I want to see like my final result, so sometimes I will just like take the mesh I'm extracting from, like basically this thing, like the torso, and I will just do a duplicate and then I will sculpt those details back in, just so I can see like on the forefront the details. So I think it looks good, and then I'll go back and do my creases. And once again, you know, it's like that kind of stuff you could easily customize your own. But like I've said, you know, even me, like I customize my whole UI, and right now like I'm starting to, you know, to have like less and less space because I'm using like plus like the 2 shelf on 2 sides. So it's just like, man, it's really cluttered, and you know, of course, like I'm losing you know, viewport space because of that. So for some I can understand it's like annoying, but if I would just like right click like this menu and I would just customize one with all my buttons that I use more often, I think it would be even more efficient, because when I right click, you see my arrow, it's like so close, so I don't need like to go up, click, go down, you know. So yeah, let's just put 2 and this should work. Just for the sake of it, then we'll can I color pick it? No. It's alright. One thing that I often do is like, let's just say like now, all those strips, I will create many of them, and you know, my subtools, like I can get like, this is like nothing, sometimes I can get like 70 or 80 subtools. So I try, you know, since there's no real folder structure in there, I try to be super tight on how clean it is, and I just ate like, you know, trying to find what I'm looking for. So what I'll do usually with stuff like that, okay, right now it's at 1, so I'll go back to this one, undo it a couple of times just to be sure it didn't shift. Look, okay, I got my creases, just double checking. One thing that I forgot though is like to put the ones in the corner. Crease, not partial loop, edge. So once again, I just want to say, like, if you want to talk to me or anything like that, like, and you're on Facebook right now, like, it's pretty sad, but yeah, like for some reason, like the technical issue, I can actually see you, see what you're writing and on Facebook. So I'm not like ignoring what people are saying on Facebook on purpose. It's just yeah, you know, if you want to say something, feel free to go to the YouTube or the Twitch Pixologic pages. So okay, so this is done. So to go back where on what I was saying, was just, yeah, I just want to combine them. So that's exactly what I'll do. It's like I'll go to merge and always like check this UV thing, because so many times. To be honest with you, I think it should be on by default like all the time, because many times like I went really fast and I just forgot to check this, and I kind of I did like I pre-did a UV, and I would actually kill my UV, and then once I need it, then I'm kind of yeah, in a bad position. So let's just say like right now, level, I don't have any subdivision levels, so merge down. Okay, so see, now it's all part of the same. And you know, to answer back the question from earlier about the topological thing, see, like right now I'm going through it, and the reason why I don't want to go and isolate, well, I could always, you know, isolate those two. There's like many ways to do it, but I could do that like a mask and then push it in. But if you go with topological, then I'll remove my mask just to show you. See, I can push it. And it's not affecting the one under. Yeah. So now like they're all part of the same. So I'll just go on. I think it's more useful to do it that way than trying to clean up with the H polish. I mean, I still use like a lot of the H polish, but in the end, I'm just trying to get like the best result that I can with hard surface kind of stuff, and I think that's a decent alternative. And we're still staying in ZBrush. That's another thing. Like I don't like going back and forth with ZBrush, because sometimes you'll lose. You know, you see like the creases that I've put on the sides, you kind of lose it. Or sometimes it's the poly groups. You do like operations like in because I use quite a bit of the Gozi over here. If you never used it, I think that's you should definitely try it out. And now I know that there's like a bridge with Marvelous. You know, I've used like Marvelous like a few times this week for a character I was making, and yeah, I installed the bridge, but I completely forgot to use it. So, but yeah, more to that. Like I guess in the upcoming streams, I will tell you guys how it went, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be just fine. So extract at 0, accept. So, oh yeah, is the scene manager? Is it the one made by the? Someone asked like in the chat about, you know, this. Well, this person was like saying that to use like the Z scene manager plugin for, you know, if you, when you got like a lot of subtools. And I know that there's like one made by I think it's like Exo something. I can't remember. Like I know that like the studio like bought a few licenses of that software, and well, of that plugin I should say. And I've tried it like just a little bit, and to be honest with you, like it felt like it was like kind of really slow, like to navigate through the menus. So I didn't really like it, but yeah, maybe I should try it again. Maybe and I don't know, like maybe they did some update from the last time that I used it. But yeah, it's because yeah, that's another thing. Like right now, like I'm splitting my mesh just because my computer is not like super strong. But usually I'd rather not do that. Like I rather like keep everything in the same thing, because the way I work, it's like super. How can I say that? It's like nothing is final up until I'm done with the IRES, so I can jump around quite a bit. And sometimes by, I don't know, I'm fixing like the bicep and I see something weird on the shoulder, so I want to jump like on the shoulder pad, and yeah, if it's a decimated mesh or I don't have the shoulder pad, then I don't see like the part in context. So it's pretty hard to I don't think like silhouette wise and all, like it's not a good thing. Oh yeah, okay, Exo side, yeah, I just see it like you just pasted like on the Twitch chat, like it's yeah, if you look for Exo side, well, exoside.com. You'll find the plugin. So what the hell happened? Okay, I forgot to delete the polygon. Sorry, I'm just catching up with the chat, and I just saw like tofu, please. That wrote like you know, because I was talking about having like a really small viewport because I'm putting too much buttons, and the answer was just like just get a bigger monitor. I wish. But to be honest with you, right now my concern would be like just to get like a faster computer, because I don't know, like I love ZBrush, but I think I'm pretty hard with it. Like even at work, like I'm reaching like the limit of that software. Like the number of crashes that I get, I try like to report most of the stuff that I get, but yeah, I'm really pushing the limit on that software, and more like on the computer. But yeah, I'm having like quite a bit of crashes. But it's all part of this process. So, you know, you start learning the issues and then work around it. And yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. Like the awesome part is like you can do so much combining techniques that, of course, you know, there's no way like someone could test out all the possibilities that the software is can offer and debug that. So I think it's good to report any kind of bug or annoying thing that you might experience. I think they got like a hotline or something on their website. So yeah, and for some reason, like even with my team at Ubisoft, like I told them, because like they come to me about like sometimes like issues with ZBrush, and I'm just like, yeah, man, you should definitely do like a hotline or something. And he's just like, what? What are you talking about? And I'm just like, yeah, there's this thing where you can submit a bug or ask for a request, like a feature, I guess. Well, I think you can ask for a request, but you can definitely, you know, submit for a bug. ZModeler again. Okay, now maybe not the strip. Oh yeah. Yeah, if I switch computers, I think I'll go with Intel. I think it's 7920. I'd love to go for a i9, but I mean, it's so pricey. It's nuts. Because now there's even like this. Well, I will select this new hard drive. You know, like those. I can't remember what they call it, but it's just a small, kind of a really tiny. I don't know, like 10 centimeters by 3 centimeters, like really. But man, it goes like crazy speed to actually write, like compared to a SATA. And man, just those hard drives are like super costly. So yeah, but yeah, one day I'm piling up a bunch of cash just to do like a massive upgrade and get, you know, well, you know, if I can say this, what I'm dreaming is like to really build up a computer that can take the amount of process I can throw at ZBrush and other computer softwares. So yeah, my next build, I'd like to have something really strong, so I can explore more technically. and I guess artistically as well. So yeah, but that's the thing. Like I know that Threadripper is like super good, and I know that like like the ZBrush use a lot of CPU. So I think that's a good. I mean, even like for the price, I think that's really good. But from what I heard, like, but I mean, I'm not like on an Intel guy or an AMD guy at all. I'm just I just want to have like the strongest thing that I can find. And yeah, from what I heard, like it feels like for a 3D application, like Intel, like it's a lot more efficient, I guess. Um, yeah, it's just like because like they were even showing like I know that like ZBrush is multi-threaded, but I know that they were showing like a single threaded application like Max or Maya, and basically like Intel would eat up the Threadripper. And I don't know, like I guess it's the I don't think there's a bad choice in it, and I know that the Threadripper you can overclock it quite a bit, so. But yeah, it's always a question of how much you want to put in. No, I don't use Cintiq. I use an Intuos 3 actually. And even at work, I think they gave me an Intuos 3 as well. Since I started over there, like they promised me to get a Cintiq, and never got one. But the studio I was working before at was I actually had like a Cintiq. And to be honest with you, it's like I think it's a cool tool to have, but it's not a must. I would rather have like a stronger PC than having like a Cintiq. And I saw like I think it's this week, Wacom just announced the portable computer. I don't know, like it's some kind of tablet that you can just plug in a computer in the back and walk around with it, I guess. Like a huge tablet, if you like. But yeah, personally, what I thought of the Cintiq was I think that's an awesome tool. And to be honest with you, like the part where I felt it was like the most practical for me was really the. It reminds me a lot of I do like a lot. Well, a lot. I used to do a lot like just before the holidays, like live drawing, and it reminds me a lot of usually in live drawing I try to do like big strokes to really draw from the shoulder rather than draw from the wrist. And having a big Cintiq, I would do like a lot more of the elbow and shoulder movement, which gave me like a more precise kind of straight line. But yeah, it's just, I mean, that helps, and the fact that you can draw right on it, that helps. But to say that it's like a must, and it makes like a, I don't know, it just feels like a, I wouldn't go as far as a gimmick, because I think it can improve, but it's not like a key thing to for me at least, that make my work a lot better or a lot worse, whatever. And yeah, another thing that just in case you guys wonder, it's like one of my worries before I started to use Cintiq, because I was using Intuos for like, I think I used like all the numbers of Intuos that Wacom did, and I was afraid that if I would have like a Cintiq at work and I would go back home and use an Intuos, I would get like this huge disconnect between the two. Basically not be efficient or kind of be stuck. And to my surprise, not at all. I mean, it would just be like if I'm drawing with a pen or drawing with the Wacom and the tablet, you know, it wouldn't change anything. But one of the things that I'd like to try though is the 3D pen. I don't know, like they made like some kind of I think it's pretty recent, like a 3D Wacom pen that can to play around with you know, ZBrush or 3D application. And it got me curious. Like it's the kind of stuff that I might ask if the studio, like if they get some at some point, like if I can try it out. I'm not sure if I would buy it, but I would definitely like to try it out. That's yeah, one of the thing, like with this menu, with the crease menu, I thought at first, you know, you needed to set the crease level before you press any of the buttons or change like the tolerance into crease. But yeah, I just find out like that you don't need that at all. You know, putting the crease on and setting this value is like two independent things, so it shouldn't affect. Just kind of isolate it once more, just see if it looks good. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, I'm a little bit like overdoing it, but I like it when it's clean. Yeah, that's another trick. Like I don't want to go too fast because I want like you guys to follow up and even like to add some of your comments or whatever. Like if you got like a better way to do this. But yeah, you know, like when I was mentioning before, it's good like to, you know, smooth out the surface while it's just like a flat plane. That's another advantage of going with poly groups, because you know right now I already did my you know thickness, my panel loop, and of course if I start smoothing I might, you know, kill the one in the back and with like my surface. And since it's a low poly, it's like even more aggressive. But you know, since it's a poly group, I can easily just isolate. I can do it like this, or I can just mask it, and then of course I'll try to be gentle with everything. But yeah. I got my crease on the corners, crease edge. Yes, after that I use live booleans. Once I'm to combine it like for 3D print, I will use live booleans to so I will just add my friend over here with the rest of the is it still peeking through? Someone mentioned about the sharp edge, but I'm not sure I understand the question. Right now for the strips it goes well, like with the masking, but stuff like that, anything that is like cylindrical, I will not do that. Like it might not be like tonight, it will be probably like in another session, but I used like just a flat cylinder. I'll put it in the center of the world, and I will use like the radial symmetry and this one. And the reason why I really like this one is just like instead of going in and checking at reference, I can, I don't know, like the result you can find with that, like, are sometimes super creative. So yeah, I just feel like I'm always like surprised to see what I can come up with the radial. So, and yeah, it's because, like, asking straight lines or a line like that works well, but if you go with cylindrical, it might be like kind of a, just like you saw in the sketch, it's not really round, it's kind of a messy. So I hope you guys don't find it too boring, all my chatting, saying that I'll just need like the, if you miss something out, like feel free to ask like any questions. I'm uh, I'm enjoying this like pretty much, like that's one of the main reasons why I'm streaming. Like I used to do like my stuff like in my basement, like alone, and I don't know, I'm like kind of a guy who likes people, other artists and all that, and even at the studio, I kind of like to have like people around. So I just felt, why not sculpt? And of course I can get more distracted, but no, I think it's cool. It's cool to see you there. But yeah, by any means, like that's one of the things like forgot to mention. But if you guys like see like some of the process that I do, and you think like there's like better ways to do that, or you saw someone doing like another way around to have like something super efficient, please like feel free to share it with me. Like I got this. I think you can post on it, but I got like like at the bottom of the stream, I got like my Instagram, and I think I forgot to put my Facebook. But if you look for art of Seb, or pretty much the same name as you see like for the other social media platform, and then yeah, just post it on my wall if you can, or actually just tag me into it. It's like it's the kind of stuff that I don't believe there's like one way to do stuff. So even if I'm doing this way, I mean, there's maybe people out there that know like better ways to do it, and yeah, I'm super open about learning new process or software. It's just like to get the best result, best quality, or in the most efficient way. So I'm always like bringing up the pop-up, but yeah, you can always check, you know, like the what they tell you under the brush, because right now like it's called like delete a poly. So yeah, I should be more aware of that. I know that we're running out almost out of time, but you know, these days I'm pretty busy, but I will try to restart slowly the streaming, like morning, well, morning in Quebec City, but yeah, for you guys in the world that might not know, but it's like at 5 a.m. Eastern time. Basically, when I wake up uh, during the weekdays, like I will stream for a few mornings. I used to do that before the holidays, but I kind of stopped because my schedule went just like crazy, you know, starting like to do yeah, all kind of stuff. And yeah, I will pretty much resume that next week. Yeah, because like the start of the new year, it's I've been like too busy, but now it's starting like to be calmer. So yeah, I will probably continue that model. And yeah, if you wanna, you know, follow me on my Twitch channel instead, or I think yeah, it's been such a long time that I stream, but I think I'm streaming live on YouTube as well. So yeah, if you wanna hook up outside of the Pixelogic channel, feel free to do so. And if not, then I pretty much archive like all my videos that I stream on Twitch on my YouTube channel, so you can see what I did if you were not available live. So, and yes, please, you know, if you got any feedback or anything you'd like to add up, go ahead. But yeah, mainly like my schedule with this stream is like every Thursday. Will be at this time. I will be like streaming. So, and yeah, another thing is like if you want to sculpt at the same time as I'm sculpting, please feel free to do so. You know, there's no reason why this get together wouldn't be a good reason to do art together. So let's have fun. I want to share my fun, you know. Thanks, Kino. Well, I just contacted Pixelogic. You know, like they got like this email. I think if you go on the ZBrush Live webpage, and yeah, I just you know, I did like an interview if you like, and we spoke about what I wanted to do, and yeah, I guess it worked out, and yeah, it's the rest is history, like they say. But I don't think they. I think if you're committed, I think it will work out. But yeah, one thing that I should say though before I submitted like my application to Pixelogic, I think I stream for, I think I applied like in November or October, but I started to stream like in June, or yeah, around June last year. So you know, like every morning I try like to be really disciplined about the whole process. And yeah, so I was like already building up experience, and you know, when I show up at the Pixelogic door, I would already have like something to show, or you know, I wouldn't be and of course, you know, that would be like a proof as well to show that I'm kind of passionate and consistent and whatever. Okay, just gonna compare it to the I saw that Pixologic announced the ZBrush Summit coming up. I know that I think they're probably doing Sculpt Off as well, like this year. You guys are planning like to try it out? I think it would be awesome. You know, the more we are, the better. And I say the more we are, but I'm not even. I'm not even. I don't even know if I'm gonna try it. You know. So, but yeah, best of lucks for the ones who are applying. I think it's cool, like to see like stuff like that, you know, happening more and more. I feel like for the 2D digital guys, there's a lot going on. But for us, like 3D sculptors, like digital sculptors, it's getting, you know, more and more. But it feels like there's a lot less things happening, like challenges or seminars or. It's I don't know why though, but I'm pretty sure with like the 3D printing and all of that stuff, like just regular stuff that you see like on Shapeways, or I mean nothing compares to like collectible, but I mean like just overall when the mass maybe not mass market, but like when I guess when your father and mothers will start buying 3D printers because they want to do like a home lamps or whatever, you know, when it becomes like something more usual, like having a computer, I think yeah, 3D sculpting is gonna explode like nothing we've seen before. So see, that's one of the things like to be aware of, like, you know, I mentioned it like earlier in the stream, like you know, when it's like an open edge, like even if I try like to smooth it, you know, it's not going down. It's if it would be closed, then of course it would actually go down, but like this, like I need to push it with my my move tool. And that's another thing, like and it's funny, like I do that quite a bit, and I was just like, you know, like I'm what I'm saying is just like I move when I use the move tool. Usually I just tap my tablet. I don't want to, instead of doing like big strokes, I just like just so I can barely and slowly, progressively move my points. And I know that like there's a lot of people like doing that as well, because even at the studio, like I see my colleagues, or hear them rather, like just hear like that tap 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 on the tablet, and yeah, it's basically they're just, I guess they're just using the move tool and just moving just like I do. I guess it's something that just happens like over time. I don't know. Well, it's about to finish, so I just want to say it was awesome to see you guys online with me. I hope to see you soon, like in another stream. And yeah, just have a great week, have a great weekend, have a great night, have a great day, I don't know. And yeah, I see you soon. So cheers.